watching this video probably because you have a CCMA case coming up. Now there's 4 major stages when it comes to a CCMA case. 4. The first is preliminary issues. What does preliminary issues mean? It's a big fancy word. The long and short of it is, preliminary issues is those things that deal with the technical points of your case. For example, making sure that the parties are correctly cited, like the employer and employee, you served a copy. The third thing is, the most common thing I found in my experience is making sure that you refer your case within 30 days. Now the reason why it's called preliminary issues is, that's the first thing that a commissioner at the CCMA is going to address before going into the facts of your case. Meaning, if you don't get the preliminary issues sorted out, you're more than likely to lose the case on a technical point. So it's very important that you check that you've complied by citing the right parties, you served a copy, and that you filed your case within 30 days from the date of dismissal. If you do it after 30 days, then you have to do something called a condonation. Basically, that's an explanation as to why you couldn't comply within the 30-day period. The second thing is substantive fairness. What does substantive fairness mean? Essentially, that deals with the reasons for the dismissal. So that could be misconduct, it could be retrenchment, it could be incapacity, illness. There are numerous different reasons. Substantive fairness is basically dealing with the evidence in your particular situation. So you need to, as you're watching this video, think to yourself, what evidence do I have that can prove my case at the CCMA? Do you have documents, witnesses? And then think on the other side as well, the other party that's going to be hearing my case. What evidence do they have? What documents do they have? That deals with substantive fairness. The third one is called procedural fairness. Procedural fairness, in essence, is, did the employer follow the right procedure when they dismissed you? 5 requirements under procedural fairness. The first is, when they were holding the disciplinary hearing at the workplace, did they do it in a language that you understand? The second thing is, did you have enough time to prepare for your case? So for example, if you were given a notice to attend a disciplinary hearing in the afternoon, that's not enough time, because you still have time. You have to go and gather your evidence. You need to see what witnesses you have. So time to prepare generally is considered as 48 hours. The employer must generally give you 48 hours of notice before a disciplinary hearing. The third is representation. So at a disciplinary hearing, did the employer give you an opportunity to be represented either by a trade union representative or by a fellow colleague? Number 4 is, did the employer give you an opportunity to defend yourself and give your statement of the facts or whatever happened? And the last thing is, did the employer communicate that disciplinary hearing to you in writing, the ruling from it? So to recap, so far we have preliminary issues. Those are the technical points before the case is heard. Number 2 is substantive fairness. That's the reason for the dismissal. And number 3 is procedural fairness. That means, did the employer follow the right procedure when dismissing you? And the last thing is outcome. So if you're successful in your CCMA case, what outcomes are you more likely to receive? There's only 3. The first is reinstatement, the second is reemployment, and the last one is compensation. The reinstatement means you'll get your job back exactly as it was before you were dismissed. So you were working as a financial advisor in a company, you got dismissed, you'll get your job back exactly financial advisor as if you were not dismissed. The second is reemployment. So if you were working, for argument's sake, for Wesson, and he did something very bad to you, He's not like that though. But if he did something very bad to you, then you can go back to the CCMA and say, I don't want to work for Weston, I want to work for Joe So, whatever it is. So that's re-employment, where you go back to the company, but you maybe report to somebody else or you work in a different department. And the last one is, most employees go for this one, it's compensation. That basically means where you get money. So those are the three reasons or three outcomes that you can get at the CCMA. We have more detailed articles, more guidelines, workbooks that's available at legal-leaders.co.za.